can we talk about real fast? Can we talk about what it took for me to even show up right here, right now, in this very moment? I feel like life is just life, and you either like you gotta keep up. You just gotta keep up. Where is my phone? Every time I turn around, I feel like I'm misplacing something. That is another reason why it took me so long to get where I am right now. Deadass though, I'm really just going to not have my phone in here. Really though? I mean, this is just nuts. This is just insane. A travesty even. I brought everything in here, even my matcha. Which, by the way, is not good at all. I'm having a time, child. You know what? Forget it. I got my computer right here. I really just wanted to know what time it was. Listen. This is a battle, okay? So I've been wanting to record this podcast episode for weeks, months even. I miss it, to be honest. And I actually recorded, I want to say I recorded like 2 episodes since we last spoke. First of all, hey y'all. Oh my god. Hey girl. Hey, what's up? Hello. Welcome back to More Context, the podcast. This is, well, I mean, if I had my phone, I could tell you. Season 3. Did I even finish off? This is how in the moment we are right now. For real. Listen, fuck it. Welcome back to More Context, the podcast. I feel like this is probably gonna be one of, if not the most realest episode I've had since starting this podcast, because no, that's not true, because I've recorded plenty of times when I felt how I'm feeling right now. It's probably a little bit different now, obviously, because I have different kind of distractions in my life now. Good distractions, but distractions nonetheless that have been preventing me from being able to speak with you guys, especially in the moment when I feel like it. I be having to be in different moments, you know, now that I'm a mom and such. So yeah, let's catch up. This episode is going to be a long overdue life update. Like, let's get into it. So, as of today, it is December 4th. I think it's like 4/24. That is a long time, because I have been I've been setting up this situation, quote unquote, since like 3:20. I was like, oh, okay, the sun's supposed to set at 4:44, 4:43, something like that. And I was like, all right, all I need is an hour. No, I've been running around this house like crazy. First of all, I had to stop. I mean, of course, the first thing I did was put a little something on my face, because y'all haven't seen me in a long time. I haven't seen y'all in a long time. And I at the very least, wanted to look presentable. So, hopefully I didn't fail you. I didn't fail me, because I'm cute as shit. But, so I put a little something on my face, and then I'm like, all right, let me grab, my setup or whatever. And I literally had to grab mad things. I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with my YouTube, but the last video that I put out was an empty house tour. And if you watched it, you would know that I got 3 stories in this bad boy. And so I feel like I ran all 3 stories within that last hour, just looking for bits and pieces, like the dongle to this and the plug to that and the half a plug to this. And I just keep saying I need to hurry up before the sunset, because I'm not really trying to use artificial lighting. I get pretty good lighting in here. Like, I get the sunrise and I get the sunset. Well, I couldn't record during the sunrise because obviously, and then I couldn't record during sunset because I missed the window, okay? Anyway, I am in my son's room, which should be his room, but it has become the laundry room. since I have become a mom, okay, all right. People cannot wait to ask you, are you going to have another one, or when are you having another one? Like, before you can even finish having the one that you just had. Listen, let me tell you something. I am in over my head in motherfucking laundry, okay? Please stop asking me if I'm ready to have another one. I love my son, and yes, I could see myself doing it, but right now, it is stone laundry mountain over here, okay? So, can we relax on that? Anyway, let's catch up. All right, so the last we spoke, was in, girl, I don't know. When was that? May? No, definitely before May. March. It was definitely March. It was March. And I've since had my baby. So I think I was telling y'all about how we had to, like, we needed to close on the house, and because we were having an at-home birth, and we were closing on our house, you know, right around the time that Chase was supposed to be born. So, again, if you've been catching up on my vlogs that I've been posting weekly, we were able to move into our new home before the baby came, and that still was a hectic time. Like, that was a lot. But we were able to move in, and then, let's see, we moved in May 28th, and then Chase was born, June 18th. So, I toggled with if I wanted this episode to be the birth story by itself, but I was like, I can't just kick y'all off with the birth story without, you know, at least giving you an update. We can go into details. I figured I would give you kind of like the overview of where we are up until now, and then we can go into the details later. But then again, I'm an Aquarius and I love details, so we'll just see, you know, how this goes. Anyway, so yeah, we moved into the house May 28th, and then we had Chase June 18th, and we were able to successfully have a beautiful at-home water birth right here in this room that I'm in right now, Chase's nursery. So it was originally, this room started out as Chase's, I guess, my labor and delivery room. And then after I had him, what did we have in here after that? Nothing for real. Oh, we had his bassinets in here, and then they've been like shuffling around the house. So Chase is like 5.5 months right now, and we just got rid of his bassinets, so they are out the way. Chase is at this stage now where he is too big for like the newborn like playthings, like the Mamaroo and you know, all the little bouncy chairs that like newborns can sit in. He's too big for those, but like not big enough just yet for like the like booster seats and the things that you can sit up like on your own, like the little jumpy things and stuff like that. So it's a weird time where like right now he's in a playpen, but like I don't know what to have him in for throughout the rest of the house. So like he got somewhere to chill in the living room, but like not really in the bedroom type of thing. Anyway, I say that to say right now my labor and delivery room has transitioned over into the laundry room, and well, half laundry room, half guest room, because my mom, I mean, thank goodness for my mom. She has been coming in town quite often, and so she stays in Chase's room, you know, when she does come in town or whatever. So when she's not here, we have nothing but laundry on this blow up mattress. And then we clean it all up and make sure the room looks nice for her when she gets here, and it becomes a guest room, and then back to the laundry room. So in a few days it will have to be a guest room. So Corey has started folding up this laundry, thank God for him, and in a short period of time it'll be the guest room. However, it is about to for real transition into his nursery. We have been working hard as we can to raise a newborn baby, well, an infant, because he's no longer a newborn, but we have been working hard to raise this young little sweet innocent soul. And we have also been trying to organize the house, and listen, some things just end up short. We doing our best, and I like to say our best is pretty good, if you ask me. Excuse me, let me take a little sip of this matcha. Oh yeah, it's good now. That agave was sitting down at the bottom, and I was like, what is that? But it's mixed now, it's good. It got a little watered down, so anyway. We are in the process of, like, you know, just kind of making our house our home. But honestly, that's one thing I had to stop beating myself up about. Like, you know, things just can't be perfect. Like, especially now that I have another life in addition to mine that I'm responsible for, and like, that's a big ass responsibility. And so I be having to give myself more and more grace. And I be like I tell myself I'm doing a good job all the time, because I truly believe I am indeed, in fact, doing a great job. Like, I do believe that it's just honestly just second nature to want to nurture this little human. Like, it's like, yo, bro, you're here, and I cannot believe you are here, because I still cannot believe that I'm a parent. Honestly, I can't even believe I was pregnant. I be looking at pictures and videos, and I be like, yo, not only was I pregnant, I was big as hell. I was big as shit. Oh my god, I was so big, and I had a big ass baby. And I be like, yo, I pushed this big ass baby out. I cannot believe I did that shit. And then I be looking at this big ass baby, because he is still a big ass baby, okay? I be looking at this big ass baby. I be like, yo, this big ass baby is mine. You literally look just like me, bro. And he kind of act like me. And I be like, yo, I am your mom. And not only am I your mom, but like, this is a permanent situation. Like, you literally are not going anywhere, and I'm literally not going anywhere. Like, we're tied together for like ever. That shit is wild to me. Like, anyway, those are daily thoughts of mine. Daily. It might not be that deep, but trust me, every day I be like, I cannot believe some aspect of like how I brought you into this world, and then like the fact that you are here and mine. Yeah. So I honestly, I'm enjoying it. I will say, that's not to say that I did not enjoy my life prior to motherhood, because I enjoyed that as well. But it's different, and it's a different kind of enjoyable. So I don't have any regrets. I don't have, you know what? I do have a couple of regrets. Not about motherhood, just about things that I wish I would have did before like, all right, like my body is different now. So one thing is like, I feel like I was like not conservative, because I've always dressed exactly how I wanted to dress. But I feel like those days when like I was at like the past, I want to say 3 years, my body was like, I was in it, and I was like feeling myself, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like that run that I had, the days when I was choosing between, should I wear a crop top, or should I wear an oversized shirt, or should I wear a bodycon dress, or should I wear like something loose, though, all those days where I chose to wear something loose instead of wearing that crop top or that form-fitting dress, yeah, that's where I fucked up. Now, don't get me wrong, I wore a lot of crop tops and a lot of tight dresses. I'm just saying, I should have did it more. Because now I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, that shit is still cute to me, but it don't look the same on my body. So I've been in like this, you know, transition. I think I spoke about this before I even had him, like when I was still pregnant, because that was a different transition of like trying to dress your body, but that is a temporary body. So with this body, it's like, it's so different trying to get dressed and like adjust to like your new style, because mentally it's like, do I want to dress differently as a mom? Okay, see, I told y'all we getting candid on this episode. Yes, it's a life update, but it's also very present because I have to speak in the now. And I'll just go back and fill in a little blank as I need to. But right now, we just speaking in the now, where we are now. This is the life update. Like, this where we at right now. And I'm just gonna fill in some gaps for you. But yeah, I'll be like, is how permanent is this body that I have now? Because for one, I'm nursing and I lost a lot of weight. I pretty much lost my weight almost as soon as I had him. It took like a few weeks, but I'm definitely back down to my original size, maybe a little smaller. Breastfeeding ain't no bitch. I'm trying to tell you, she is not that girl you want to play with. And I'm not even gonna get into snapback culture because yes, I lost my weight, but like, who's to say I wanted to lose that weight? Like, I wanted like 10 of them pounds. So I was a little tight when like they left. Like, girl, you saw my butt when I was pregnant. Like, I wouldn't have minded. I wouldn't have minded holding on to like 10 of them pounds. But it's so like when people be like, oh, you look so good now, I be like, thank you, but like like I'm still learning to adjust and I'm learning to get used to seeing this body every day, because like I said, I don't know how permanent or how temporary this body is. I don't know how long I'm gonna be nursing for. I don't know what's gonna happen to my body when I'm finished nursing. And so like I don't know when and or if I'm going to get pregnant again and what that body will look like. And then it's like, you know, let's be honest, who I was before having my son is not who I am now. Like, I'm the same person, but mentally a lot of decisions that I make now are just completely different. A lot of the ways that I think are just completely different, and it's for the better. It's for the better because it's who I am now. It's who I am for myself, who I am for my family, who I am for my son. So I be thinking like, you know, how I be thinking a little bit more about how I want to represent myself, how I want to present myself, how I want to be perceived as both a person and as a mom, because I just don't want motherhood to be my identity either. I still want to be seen as me, you know, the real nigga that I am. I'm just also a mom. That's literally the same way I felt about, you know, being an AKA. Like, I joined my sorority when I was in college because I wanted people to see that, like, you can be a part of organizations and still be yourself. You don't have to be a part of this, like, have this big thing happen to you in your life, and then now that is who you are. That is your new identity. People get so lost in that so fast. And the one thing that I always knew I would never do was get lost in that shit. So I'm not lost in motherhood. I'm not lost in motherhood at all. I'm just adjusting to this shit. And I'm trying to figure out, you know what I'm saying, how to mesh it with who I am, who I was, and who I want to be. So that has been like a cool little learning experience for me. So yeah, motherhood is cool. My son is cool as shit, especially to me. Like, I mean, when people meet him, they be like, yo, he's like mad chill, and he is mad chill. But you know, at the end of the day, this is a very serious thing that we're doing here. Like, we're literally raising a life. Like, we're nurturing and loving and molding and and teaching, and it's like such a responsibility. To think about like having to call doctors on behalf of somebody. Yo, I hate calling. And this was definitely a wake up call of how much I just hate administrative work. Like, I hate calling places and like following up and like, you know, just doing all that mundane life shit. I hate doing it. So not only do I have to do that for myself, I gotta do that for somebody else too. Like, that shit, that's the shit I be like, ugh. And that's so funny because it's like, I mean, I don't know if you think about that when you be thinking about having a family, but girl, yeah. Anyway, my son is awesome. It is, I think I told you, yeah, December 4th, and we are, a week past Thanksgiving. A lot of good things have happened, since we last spoke, and a lot of like weird shit has happened. And I think right now is the time where like most people just kind of like, more so especially me, where like you just kind of sit and reflect on like the year that you had and the things that you did and or didn't do. Excuse me, but I don't necessarily think about the things that I didn't do. I reflect on the things that I did and like the things that I want to do in the year and years to come. And so let's see what all happened since. Okay, so I had Chase in June, and then so we bought the townhouse in May. I had Chase in June, and then it just so happened that I ended up, you ready? Are you ready for this? Because I ended up buying the condo that we just moved out of. Let's talk about this full circle moment real quick. So I believe I spoke on this before, but I was renting my condo from my friend / yoga instructor. Are my eyes red? Kinda. Yep, they're a little red. I mean, y'all know why they red though, right? But what happened? What was I saying? Now you really know why my eyes red. Yes, so we were renting the condo from my friend, also yoga instructor, Rachel, and I love her. Speaking of Rachel, my home birth, Rachel was there. Rachel was the only person outside of my midwife and Corey, and my midwife had a student there. I asked Rachel to be there because her energy is just, I love it. I love Rachel's energy. It's very calming. And she's been my yoga instructor for years now. And I feel like first of all, she knows breath work. She knows my body. And she knows what ways your body could like. I mean, she's a yoga instructor. So it just made sense, right? And so anyway, full circle moment. Okay. We're going to go back. Okay, let's go back. So, the year was 2018? The end of 2018? Or 2017? The end of 2017, I think it was. And, I was moving out of, so, I found Rachel at LA Fitness when I had stumbled upon her yoga class or whatever. So I was taking yoga from her for like a few months, however long she was there for. So she was leaving LA Fitness, and I was moving out of my apartment, which was right around the corner from LA Fitness where she was teaching at. And it was just both like a weird, like emotional time for the both of us. And so we had gotten like pretty close. I think from that moment we had gotten really close. So I had moved into my grandmother's house because I had made this decision that I was going to move in a different city, state, country, whatever. I just was like over it. I was over just the monotony of life, right? And I was like, I'm just going to take my show on the road. I'm going to find me a job where I can either work remote or I can do my job. I can transfer with my company because I think at the time I was working for Lockheed Martin. And I was like, Lockheed Martin is everywhere. Like, I'm going to just, go... I'ma just, find somewhere else to do my job or whatever, right? And so I moved out of my apartment. I moved into my grandmother's house, and Rachel left LA Fitness, and but I still was like doing yoga. I was driving mad far to still do yoga with Rachel, right? So a year goes by, and that's the whole year that Corey and I get serious, whatever. And so Rachel was moving out of her condo and needed somebody to rent. Well, Corey was moving to Maryland, and him and I needed somewhere to live. And so we just ended up moving into Rachel's condo. It just worked beautifully, right? So 2.5 years later, we're in 2021, and Rachel just, Corey and I decide like we want to, we not only want, but need to move into, we're moving into a bigger space or whatever. And, just talking to Rachel about it. And so she was just going to rent the condo out to somebody else or whatever. And so, so she ended up getting an opportunity that afforded her, that allowed her to, that transitioned her out of town. And she decided, she ultimately decided to sell the condo very last minute. And she said it, she kicked it to me like, hey, I know baby boy is due soon, and I'm definitely not trying to rush you out, but I just want to let you know that I am gonna sell a condo. And I'm literally about to, like, Chase isn't even born yet. Like, I think his due date was like after his due date, but I was like still waiting for him to come. Like, it was like any day now, for real. And we're texting about things like this. And so she was like, I was like, well, I mean, if you selling it, then I'll buy it. I mean, that was literally how I said it in the text. Like, I'll buy it from you if you trying to sell it for real. And she was like, no, dead ass. Like, I'd love to sell it to you and not even have to put this shit on the market for real. And I was like, oh, word? Sis, say less. Let's fucking do it. So it just so happened that the timing worked out beautifully, both financially and just conveniently. I mean, it was a little inconvenient because I did have Chase. So like, I was closing on the condo as I had literally just, like, we were trying to close by July 30th. And remember I had Chase June 18th. So we were trying to close by July 1st, actually. I lied. We was trying to close by July 1st because she was moving. So I was due to have Chase any minute, any day now. And she was packing up her house to like move out of town. And it was like days where she was like nervous because she was in her new state, and like B, I'm so sorry if anything goes wrong. I'm gonna be there for you type time. So yeah, anyway, it just so happened that like full circle moment, we was able to keep this all in the family, because honestly, she could have put the condo on the market the way the market is right now, or was at least. I don't know what the market doing right now. I'm so far removed to that shit. I don't want to look at another listing right now. But she could have sold her condo way more for what I bought it for, because people are buying houses now for tens and 20s and 100,000s more than what these houses are appraising for. So I just feel so grateful that like I get to own this piece of property, because it has such rich history in it, especially like thinking about like just knowing Rachel's story and like who I bought the condo from. And then because she had it for like over 10 years, and so I know what it means to her. And then I had my time in it, not even thinking that this would be something forever for me. So I had my time in it where it was like something completely new. Me moving in with Corey was the first time that we had lived together. So we pretty much started our relationship because the first 9 months or so, however long before we had moved in, he was in Philly and I was in Maryland. So we started our life together in this condo, and then transitioned into this townhouse and essentially started our family together in this townhouse, but still have this condo to look back on and continue these memories, right? So I feel like I'm like, yo, that shit is so fire when I think about it. And it's so funny because in 2020 I made a mood board, right? Or a vision board for 2020, and I was like, yeah, we gonna see how this unfolds, blah blah blah. And I look back on my vision board and I'm like, I ain't do too bad. This 2020 vision board ain't too bad, especially for a whole pandemonium to unfold right, like 2 months after I made a vision board, I'm like, I kind of achieved more than half this shit. And like, but when we got to 2021, shit was like a little chaotic. So like, I never made a vision board, and I kept saying I gotta make a vision board, because I really wanted to do it, because I wanted to see what my life looked like. I wanted to see how it transpired. Yo, I'm trying to tell you, had I did a vision board, none of this shit would have been on it. None of this shit. The townhouse would have been on it, but like, and obviously the baby, because I was already pregnant. But like, me buying the condo, that, hell no, that would have superseded any other thing that was on there or whatever. So we still have like a few weeks left in 2021, and I'm like, anything could happen, like anything more good could happen. And I'm like, I already know that I'm about to continue just being a good ass person and a genuine ass person, and like just being 100% myself. The same exact thing that I did for 2020, the same exact thing that I did for 2020, the same exact thing I did for 2021. I'm just going to keep doing that shit, but better and better for 2022. And naturally, like, mad other blessings are just gonna, I'm be like, damn, she thick like a stripper. This blessing that just fell in my lap is thick like a stripper. But so it's so funny, right? Okay, we not even finished. So we have this beautiful baby. We get the townhouse, buy the condo, and then I get laid off. I wish that was a joke. Hold on. Let me sip my little machata. When that ice start melting and they get colder and colder, that should be good. So then I get laid off. My short-term disability was up, so I was using PTO at this point, but I was still off during my maternity leave, and I get laid off like on some contract shit. And long story short, I never lost. Long story short, let me see, how can we wrap this up real fast and tight. I'm a federal contractor, right? So I don't work, but however, the contract that I was on was not directly with the government. The contract that I was on was a subcontract of the government. So basically, another contractor has the contract with the government, and they contracted my company to help them out. Does that make sense? You see what I did? All right, so something happened contractually, but then the main contractor decided to hire all of the people from my company that could no longer work for my company because of some contract shit. So the people who agreed to go to this company, we went to this company and continued our job. So yes, I got laid off from my company, but I still do the same exact work with the same exact people. Nothing has really changed except for the fact that I work for a whole new company, which sucks, but that's a completely different story. Actually, I'm gonna get to that in a few minutes. I'm just letting you know the timeline of things that happened to bring us back to the present, so that my mood is just kind of made sense of, because I've been in a motherfucking mood lately, but whatever. So yeah, so that happened, and that's been a lot because it's just not the same company. I went from working for a woman-owned company, and it was maybe 40 of us or so that worked at the company, to working for this bigger contractor that is like my company was only in DC and it was small, whatever, and now this bigger contractor is spread throughout, and it's not as intimate. It's not, I left Lockheed Martin, this big ass company, to be with a more intimate company because the morale is just way better. And while I do the same exact thing with the same exact people, only the difference is one of the persons that was just my regular ass colleague, he's now my supervisor. It's weird. The morale is just completely off for me. I just, you know how you have to do those trainings like the, you know, regular annual trainings. Normally I'd be like, let me just bang this training out real quick. Now I'd be like, ugh, do this fucking training. Like, I'm just moseying throughout my day. Anyway, yeah, so that happened in August. And then that was a decision that was like kicking my ass. I'm like, do I stay? Because I had the decision to just get laid off or to just go ahead and transition. Because the layoff was like immediate, like I think within like that week or whatever. For me, it was a little different because of my, you know, situation. So I think I was like, it was 2 weeks or so, however long before I started the other company. But it still is like that shit really fucked me up, like for real. It was like I was comfortable and I was like, it was what I needed during my transition into motherhood. And I can cry just thinking about it because that shit was so that shit was so overwhelming. It's like, even though I'm doing the same job with the same people, I'm still starting a whole new fucking job. Like, you still gotta do new paperwork. Like, you gotta do new HR shit. Like, it's so different. Like, you know, like when you at your job, it's like, you know, you're comfortable. Like, I don't have to put on like this face. I don't gotta like tiptoe anymore. Like, I know, you know, I'm cool. Now it's like, no, like, I'm not cool. Like, what's okay, what's not okay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, you know how like you start to get upset and your ears get warm? My ears are warm as shit right now. Cause when I think about that shit and like where I am right now professionally, like that shit has been driving my mood through the fucking roof, bro. Especially, don't get me started with this whole new mandatory situation to prevent, you know, the peanut butter and jelly spread of pandemonium, and how like as a federal employee or like a contractor, like you literally have to do that shit to keep your job. So for me as an Aquarius, like no matter what decision I choose to make, I'm making that decision because I want to make that decision, not because I'm being forced to make that decision. But like before the pandemonium, like, you know, I liked staying in the house, but then you making niggas stay in the house. Now I don't want to be in the house no more. So it's like, whether I wanted to get the vaccine or not, it's like you forcing me to do that shit. Like, I don't even have a decision of how I want to live my life. So I'm looking at that decision for me was even harder to make. It was even harder to make because it's like I can't even look at the situation objectively because you have robbed me of that opportunity because you're forcing me to get it, because if not, my livelihood is at stake. Whereas I didn't even ask to be in this motherfucker. Like, granted, if I was at my original company, I feel like I could better assess the situation because it's like, okay, I could sit down and talk to my doctor freely. I could sit down and talk to my supervisor, the owner of my company, freely about this decision that I'm really about to make with my body. But because I'm with this new company, like, and I have to make this decision, or it's like, first of all, I don't even want to fucking be here with y'all, and I'm forced to make this decision in order to have to stay here to look at y'all niggas. Let me sip this matcha. Sis is getting wound up again. Good thing after this, I'm gonna go hit my spliff again, and I'm gonna go do me some yoga. I've been doing this 30-day yoga challenge, so what is this, day 4? I'm definitely gonna go get my day 4. Anyway, let's bring us back to the present. You know, I keep referring back to Aquarius because I'm telling you, this is not just a me thing. This is my baby is crying in the background. See, if I had my phone, I could look at how long ago it was that I fed him. Here I come, baby. I'm coming. We're gonna have to wrap this up. What was I saying? Back to the present. Okay, so that's my job situation that happened in August. Anyway, I'm enjoying life despite I'm enjoying life. First of all, let me tell you something. That's another thing that has changed since becoming a mom. The decision to transition over to this new company, for me was harder because I have a kid now. If I did not have my son, I'd have been like, I'm just gonna go try something else, find something new. But because I needed to make a very rational decision and I needed to uphold my income, and you know what I mean, I couldn't just wing it like I really wanted to, I took it. And that's motherhood. And don't get me wrong, I don't have any regrets. I'm just doing what I gotta do to get where I need to get, okay? Trust me, because this shit got an end date. I'm not saying I'm staying, you know, here for a long time. I'm just telling you, I would have just kind of found a way to wing it, you know, until some shit took off. But I'm just, you know, I'm here. Anyway, so I'm enjoying motherhood and whatever. And Corey and I decide that, you know, hey, let's get married. Like we were gonna get married anyway. If you don't remember, we got engaged in December of last year, December of 2020. And so I was like 3.5 months pregnant or something like that. And so I mean, even prior to us getting pregnant, we always knew that we were gonna get married, and eventually at whenever we decided to just do it, we were just gonna do it. And but we were always gonna go to the courthouse, and then the plan was to go to the courthouse and then fly to Europe for 2 weeks. That was always the plan. Like immediately leave the courthouse and then fly to Europe. But then pandemonium, and then we got pregnant. And so we got engaged in December, and so throughout the pregnancy we were kind of like talking about it, like when you want to do it. And so we were talking about doing it just off the mere essence of like me getting on his insurance before the baby came. But because I did not give birth in the hospital, and I paid out of pocket, the baby, like I didn't need to be on his insurance. Like it was not a rush for me to get on his insurance anymore. The baby could be on his insurance whenever, as soon as he was born, we didn't have to be married for that. So, you know, the decision didn't have to be rushed. Like a date didn't just have to be like just thrown out there just to say like, oh, we did it on this day, and it not really have no significant value or whatever. So at some point in the late summer or whatever, we decided to get married in October. And so yes, I am a kept woman now. It's like, no, I am a married woman now. I'm married. If you're watching this is my wedding ring. This is my wedding band on my pinky. But so yeah, we decided to get married in October. We got married on October 8th because October 8th, 2020 was the day that I found out I was pregnant. So it happened to be a Friday in 2021, and we just decided to go to Vegas. And we was like, let's do, instead of just going to the courthouse, let's just do something fun. Like let's do something fun where we can take Chase and just kind of like do our own thing. And that's exactly what the fuck we did. Like we flew to Vegas on like a Wednesday. By the way, this vlog is coming up shortly, and this shit is gonna be fire, bro. Like this is one of the vlogs that I can't wait to put out. I haven't even edited yet, but I just know it's gonna be fire because I had a good ass time. So we went to Vegas a couple of days ahead of the wedding, and then so we had a drive-through wedding. I didn't mention that. So it was a drive-through wedding, and let me just spill out the details now. That way it'll make sense. It'll make sense to you when you see the vlog. You'll be like, okay, bitch, the details. I see you. So we so it was a drive-through wedding where literally, if you think of like a drive-through fast food restaurant where you grab your order, like literally the window is right there. However, it was a gay parade happening at the same day. So normally when they're inside the window, he just came outside and stood outside the window of the car because we wouldn't have been able to hear him otherwise. But the plan was to rent a Jeep, like a, you know, a four-door, a Jeep Wrangler or whatever, and to get married in the drive-thru. Well, when I was renting the Jeep, I was like, you know what? Let me surprise. I'm like, it's our wedding. Let me just kick shit up a notch. And so I surprised Corey, and I rented a G-Wagon. And so when I literally just rented it for the day. And when I pulled up, he was like, yeah, I can't wait for y'all to see this shit. So yeah, we got married in a G-Wagon, and that shit was motherfucking fire. Like, it was fire. That we had so much fun. Corey was like, yo, that shit was dope. Like, that shit was dope. Let me tell you, hating ass Chase slept through the whole entire thing. He slept through the whole thing, bro. Which is why I had to kind of like low-key crop him out of some pictures, because he like mouth wide open, all crazy looking in the pictures or whatever. So but yeah, it was everything. And then the day after, we did a road trip where we rented a car. We rented a car to drive to LA, and we were just gonna spend the rest of our, I guess, quote unquote, honeymoon in LA. And so we rented a truck, and we decided we didn't really like that truck, so then we upgraded ourselves again, and we rented a little Range Rover and trekked it to LA. And then we went to a Lakers game. So Chase went to his first Lakers game, and he saw Braun and shit. Braun wasn't playing though, but it was still cool, like, to be out. Like, that shit was fun. And it reminded me, because Corey and I had gone to Vegas before, and we did the road trip to LA and went to the Lakers game. So it literally felt like old times. That shit was fire. So yeah, I got married. So the reason why my wedding band is my piggy ring, because if you remember, so Corey had got my ring in February of last year, and then when he proposed in December, I was pregnant, and it was my engagement ring was too big, but because I was pregnant, I was like, well, I don't want to get it sized, because, you know, I'm pregnant, so my fingers probably gonna get big, which they did at the end of my pregnancy. And now that I'm no longer pregnant, my fingers are back small again. And so, but when I was pregnant, I had this ring that was holding my that was just kind of like holding this ring in place, right? And I was like, that's kind of cute. But then this ring was also loose. So then, oh shit, see my little ass fingers. This ring was also loose. So then I had to put this ring on to hold both the rings in place. So I got used to like seeing my rings like this, and I was like, I really like this look. And some people actually thought that I was already married because I had these rings on my finger, when really I was just holding my engagement ring on my finger. But I told Corey, I was like, you know, I really like the way this looks. So originally I was like, when we do get married, like I want a wedding band to look just like this. But then I was like, for what? Like, I really like the way this look. I just want to keep these as my wedding band. So he was like, all right, cool. But then probably like 2 months prior to us getting married, I was like, actually, I want my wedding band to look just like my engagement ring, but I want an eternity band, but I want a pinky ring because I do still love the way this looks. And so that's why I have a pinky ring as the wedding band, because I just love the way that the two rings holding my engagement ring, I love the way it looked. And then this is my wedding band. But you won't see my wedding band in my vlog because this had to be specially made because it had to be so small, and because it's an eternity band and so the diamonds go all the way around. So this wasn't ready in time because I didn't decide that I wanted it until the last minute. And I think we literally ordered it maybe like a few days, like a week, no, like two weeks before we were supposed to leave for Vegas. So this came in probably like 3 weeks. I probably had this for maybe like 2 weeks now. And now I feel married. So before, when we got married in Vegas, I just took these off and then he just put them right back on my finger. So it didn't feel different. Now, to him, on the other hand, when I saw that wedding band on his hand, I was like, yes, husband. That shit is fire. But then when my wedding band came in the mail finally though, I was like, oh yeah, now I feel married. I mean, and people don't even know, like, but it ain't for people, it's for me. I love it. I love it. But yeah, so I got married. Well, we got married, and then now that was the beginning of October. So now, you know, we're holiday season, and like I said, we're a week removed from Thanksgiving, and you know, seasonal depression, little ugly ass. She tried slide up in here. She tried slide. And I'm like, sis, not this year. I got too much good shit going. I'm content minus my little job situation. But you know, I'm just trying to, it's stable. I'm just working on other things before I feel like I can really release myself from that. But other than that, I'm like, sis, I'm happy. I'm doing okay. Like, yes, my house is taking a little longer than I would like it to come together. But, like, I'm cool. Life is good. I'm content. You know what I'm saying? I'm being nice. I'm being sweet. I'm treating people good. I'm treating people the best I can. And, like, your little ugly ass seasonal depression try to slide. You think you're going to try to slide up in here? In my new townhouse, bitch? Your little dusty ass. You're not gonna take your shoes off. You're not gonna bring water. You're not gonna bring. I don't drink no more. So you're not gonna bring like no San Pellegrinos. You're not gonna bring like. You're not trying to match me. You trying to use up my stash and not even match me, bitch. The nerve, right? Girl, she trying. She is trying, but I'm trying harder. And so that's how I know. I have to take my annual trip in December. You know, I take my little Christmas trip. Yo, it's so crazy because I thought that seasonal depression would be different when I had a family, right? Because I was like, maybe I don't like the holidays because like I just don't have a family to like celebrate them with. And like I have family, don't get me wrong, but I'm talking about like my own family. But I really couldn't but like, okay, I'm like, well, I'm not about to just make a family just to enjoy the holidays. And I never was really 100% into the holidays anyway, but I thought maybe because I didn't have my own family to like quote unquote spoil and celebrate the holidays with, that was why I didn't like the holidays. Turns out that was a lie. One, because I found a way to be able to enjoy this time of year without having to be in it. I remove myself from it every year. And this year feels no different. In fact, this year feels like this is absolutely, like I already said 2 years ago that this was a thing, but this is like for real a thing for me. I hate holiday season. Like I hate it. And it's not because it was never ever about a family for me ever. This shit don't make sense. Like I don't consider myself woke, but bitch, I ain't sleep. Like I'm very inquisitive and I'm very curious about everything. So naturally I be wanting to get down to the root of why certain things exist. Let me ask you this. Do you know why engagement rings exist? Do you know why you suppose your engagement ring is and this is air quotes if you're listening, but do you know why your quote unquote engagement ring is supposed to be quote unquote 3 times or twice the amount of the salary or whatever? Advertisement. The diamond company said that to get people to buy more diamonds, and then it just stuck. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would have, low-key, I'm cool with moissanite. I'm like, yo, if you ever trying to upgrade my ring or something like that, don't get me no diamonds. Get me some moissanite or something, because that shit, like, do you know what moissanite is? Look it up. Anyway, I say all that to say that, like, I don't like the holiday, not just holiday season, pretty much all holidays, except Juneteenth for real. Maybe Martin Luther King Jr. Day, but like those all stem from like negative undertones. Like these are holidays because like we were oppressed, and now we're celebrating not being oppressed, or like celebrating the nigga who tried to get us from being oppressed. You know what I mean? And then so like every other holiday is wrapped around capitalism. So I hate to be a fucking buzzkill, but I just kind of hate the holidays. Like, first of all, another thing, I hate jingles. Like, I hate jingles. No, I take that back. I love commercial jingles. If it's a good one, I'm Jamie fucking King. But hopefully you get that reference from the Jamie Foxx show. You know, he was a jingle writer on the show. Anyway, I don't like Christmas songs. That's my point. Fa la la la. Like, none of that is like entertaining to me. None of that makes me feel good. It's actually rather cringy. But I also don't like musicals. I do like Annie. I love Annie, and it's a new one with Taraji P. Harris. I'ma watch it because I love Annie, but I love the original Annie. So like, I do watch the other renditions, but I always go back to watching the original Annie. Literally the only musical and the only Christmas movie I can watch. I mean, it's classic Christmas movies, Home Alone and shit like that, but I don't gravitate towards them like that, because I ain't really a heavy Christmas nigga. Anyway, I just don't like the holidays. So I'm realizing now, and it's like the more like I'm in the world of the holidays, I just like, it's draining. Like, it's depressing. Everything is an ad. Everything is for sale. Everything is a sale. Everything is red. Everything is green. You mean to tell me this fat ass white man broke into my house and left me presents? Bitch, in what world is a fat ass white man breaking into my black ass house and leaving me everything I ever wanted? Absolutely the fuck not. You think I'm gonna tell my son that a fat ass white man broke into my house and left him some shit that I worked hard for? Okay. No. So we just not really gonna do the holidays in here. And it's like, I get it, like, my thoughts, and like, every day I be like, I'm so fortunate to have the husband that I have that just feel me. He just feel me. He be like, no, I'm with you. Like, fuck that shit. Like, I know that my thoughts low-key be radical to some people. Like, my mom is like, so you really not gonna put up lights? Mom, when have you ever known me to put up a Christmas tree? I feel like the last time I put up a Christmas tree, I ate bacon. You know how long ago that was? Like, you know how long ago it was since I had some pork? And she like, I mean, I just feel like he would really like the lights. I know, we got all kinds of vibes and lights in here. He probably would like bacon if I gave it to him too, but I'm not doing that. Like, it's fine. We gonna go on vacation, and yes, I'm gonna take my son with me. I'm going to take my son on vacation for his birthday. I don't really foresee us having birthday parties. Like, I just don't. We're going on vacation. Like, we are getting new experiences. Whenever, you know, everybody is telling us to buy more money and this is on sale and capitalism that, and invite all these badass kids to your house, let them spend up all your money on snacks that they shouldn't be eating anyway, and you know what I'm saying, feed them red dye number 5 and yellow number 3, and load them up on sweets and send them back home to their parents. I don't really want to do that. we just want to go to, like, you know, wherever we need to go and have our little family vacation. And you may come, you can most certainly come, but you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to live life how I was living it, by learning and experiencing more, and I don't see why that has to change because I'm a mom now. With that being said, I'd like to wrap this up by saying, don't forget to live your life for you. Virgil Abloh passed away a few days ago at the time of this recording. And if you need any reminder to live the life that that you want to live, I mean, hello, like, you feel like you're not qualified for a position? Says who? Do you see who our last president was? Hell, do you see who our president is now? Anyway, if you feel like, you know what I'm saying, you're not good enough, I'm here to remind you that you are way better than you're giving yourself credit for. So yeah, my shit died right when I was ready to go there again, and I ain't ready to go there again. But yeah, love yourself harder, be way more easy on yourself, give yourself mad grace, because you deserve it. Especially if you're a new mom out there like me, bro, or not even a new mom, because I have all the respect in the world for moms. Parents in general, fuck this mom shit. Parents in general, but definitely if you're a mom. Keep doing a good job, I see you. Live your fucking life to the best of your ability, but at the end of the day, you really just gotta do what is gonna make you happy. You and only you. With the understanding of who your decisions might affect. But definitely live your fucking life. And I feel like that's my time. It's eerily quiet down there. Like, I can hear Corey listening to the Joe Budden podcast, which low-key I wanted to watch it too, but I'm sure my son is probably taking him a little nap ski, which would be cute. Anyway, thank you guys for rocking with me, and as always, I'll holla. That was ugly as shit.